On the evening of April 25, 2025, inside the glittering halls of the Beverly Hilton Hotel, an event meant to honor aviation's most courageous heroes took an unexpected and humiliating turn. Prince Harry, once celebrated for his military valor and royal charisma, took the stage at the 22nd Annual Living Legends of Aviation Awards, only to deliver what many now describe as the most uncomfortable 11 minutes in the event's prestigious history. Instead of solidifying his place among legends, Harry became the evening's most awkward spectacle, leaving guests whispering, staff scrambling, and the press scrambling for answers. The anticipation had been high. After all, this was Prince Harry, a royal-turned-warrior, once praised for his Apache helicopter missions in Afghanistan and recently inducted as a living legend of aviation in 2024. The night, hosted by John Travolta and graced by dignitaries, astronauts, and celebrities like Morgan Freeman, was meant to celebrate aerial firefighters and other honorees. Harry's role was clear: to pay tribute, to inspire, to remind the world why he belonged among these elite. But what followed was a slow-motion unraveling no one could have predicted. From the moment he stepped onto the stage, something felt wrong. The confidence that once defined him was gone, replaced by visible anxiety, halting speech, and awkward pauses. As he began, the audience leaned in, waiting for a powerful message about courage, sacrifice, and the bravery of those who risked their lives in the skies. Instead, they got something else entirely: a meandering monologue that quickly veered off course into self-centered recollections of his time in the military and, inevitably, the Invictus Games. There was no tribute, no heartfelt acknowledgement of the aerial firefighters whose actions saved countless lives just months earlier. Instead, Harry recounted personal anecdotes, flights from his past, and reflections that seemed more about reclaiming relevance than honoring others. The discomfort in the room grew more intense with each passing minute. Heads turned. Watches were checked. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "Why is he making this about himself?" murmured a retired U.S. Air Force colonel. A tech executive seated in the third row later described the mood as tense and embarrassing, like watching a man slowly lose control in real time. Then came the moment that sealed the speech's fate. Around the 7-minute mark, Harry attempted to lighten the mood with a joke, a callback to John Travolta's iconic 1985 dance with Princess Diana. "I told John we'd fly together, but I didn't mean crash this event," he quipped. The punchline fell flat. A few polite chuckles were quickly drowned by a wave of silence. One Hollywood producer was overheard whispering, "Cringe. Just stop." And Harry didn't. Visibly rattled by the failed joke, he began to repeat himself, losing his train of thought, jumping between anecdotes that felt increasingly unmoored from the evening's purpose. The audience, a room filled with war heroes and trailblazers of the sky, had tuned out. Some signaled staff. Others simply looked away. What should have been a crowning moment had morphed into an uncomfortable unraveling, and the tension was unbearable. Then, at the 11-minute mark, it happened. As Harry launched into yet another digression, this time about the media's portrayal of his charitable work, the house lights subtly dimmed. Event organizers, composed but firm, approached the stage. Without fanfare, 2 security personnel gently moved toward the podium. Harry paused, unsure. Then, realizing what was happening, he stepped back.
No closing remarks. No applause.
Just a stunned silence that filled the air like smoke after impact. Attendees gasped. Murmurs broke out. Was this a technical glitch? A mistake? It wasn't. Later, an event coordinator quietly confirmed what many suspected. The speech had been cut off. Deliberately. "We needed to move the program forward," she said diplomatically. But insiders revealed the truth. Harry had lost the room, and producers made a judgment call to prevent further damage. It was a historic moment for all the wrong reasons. Never before in the award's 22-year legacy had a speaker been escorted off mid-speech, and certainly never a royal. The embarrassment wasn't just palpable. It was unforgettable. Backstage, Harry was described by sources as shaken and furious, reportedly blaming staff, scripts, and media expectations. But no amount of finger-pointing could erase the reality. The prince had crashed, not in combat, but in full view of the elite whose respect he had hoped to win. And the world had seen it. In the hours that followed, the fallout began. Social media buzzed. Hashtags trended. Clips circulated of Harry's fumbled words, his frozen smile, the security shadows moving in. Publicists tried damage control. Royal commentators called it a painful metaphor for Harry's post-royal trajectory. A man no longer certain of his place, caught between worlds, and slowly unraveling under the weight of an identity he no longer knows how to wear. What should have been a triumphant return to honor turned into a public reckoning. And as the dust settles, one question remains. When the spotlight fades and the applause never comes, who is Prince Harry really? Without the titles, the cameras, or the crown?